One of the things I started doing this week when I decided to do this solo retreat was that I stopped thinking about my writing in terms of a 9 to 5 sort of schedule. Before, during this process, especially for the past few months, what I've been doing is I generally will write usually one really long session in the morning, then a break for lunch in the afternoon, and then I come back, basically in like the mid-afternoon and right into the evening is typically how my schedule would break down. So I'd end up getting about 2 to 3 hour sessions in a day is typically what it did. What I found though now for the next few days is that I decided to change up my style. Instead of writing in 2 sessions, I'm thinking a lot more fluid, where basically there's no 9 to 5 setup. It's basically write until you are starting to get fatigued or tired or the quality goes down. Take a break, take an hour, take 90 minutes, take 2 hours, and then come back and write again. And what it works out to, I found, is that I'm basically getting 500 word sessions in during these periods. So today, for example, I had 500 word sessions. So I ended up writing 2,500 words in total today. So again, for me, that was great. And what I found that worked out really well is just over the course of the day, the quality stayed up because I was writing in such spread out sprints there. The only downside I have noticed on this is that it does take time to switch back into the writer mindset. So when you work for 2 hours and you take like say a 15-minute break, when you come back, I at least for me, I noticed that like the first half hour or so, maybe like 45 minutes, the writing isn't necessarily there. Like I'm not back at that level I was at before I took that break until about a half hour, 45 minutes in. So that's one thing I have noticed is that it takes a bit longer for me to switch into that mindset, to switch back into writer mode for the quality of my prose to get back up to what it was where I left off an hour or two before. But the trade-off has been that I feel for the most part refreshed every single time I go to the keyboard, and I'm not taxed at all. I'm not sitting at the keyboard stressed out here. I'm not sitting at the keyboard feeling tired or fatigued because I've taken basically those breaks. So yeah, I mean it ended up working out to being about a 12, 14 hour day here from when I got up and wrote my first words till now, when I'm filming this here at the end of the day. But it's been nice. It's been a nice trade-off. I'm going to keep it up for at least the next few days just to see if it works. It's not something I can sustain for very long, I don't think. I think for maybe a few days here while I'm in isolation, while I have no other commitments, it works out great because basically it's just writing, break, writing, and it keeps the mentality too. That's the other strong thing is that the story stays with me. It's not like I have to sort of come back to the story, you know what I mean, after like a day, after like half a day, and kind of get back into the mode. The story, the motivation for the story has stayed with me the whole time. I've felt like I've been connected to this thing the whole time. It feels a lot the same way it feels when you start working on a project where like the first day or two you have all this energy and you write like a ton of words down. You get like 10,000 words written in like a few days, and because the story is just kind of pouring out of you and you have that motivation. That's kind of how I'm feeling right now with doing this more fluid style of just writing, break, writing, break, writing, break, and just keeping that consistently going throughout a 12, 14-hour day. So that's going to be my plan for the next couple of days here. I'll do more updates in the coming days on, if that's worked. But again, it's not something I think it's going to be sustainable. It's just something that happens to work in this particular circumstance.